Hello, welcome to this physics video. In today's video, we are going to learn it is of about Wheatstone bridge. So that application of Kirchhoff's law. Now, what is this Wheatstone bridge and why we are using this? So first, that Wheatstone bridge. Why the name is given to this? So actually, this is that on the basis of its scientist name. So the scientist Sir Charles Wheatstone in 1843. So they have popularized this, and therefore this is known on their name, and therefore it is said to be as Wheatstone Bridge. So over here in this video, we are going to learn about of its construction principle and some important point regarding to it and its that proof as well. We are going to look in this case. Okay, so over here, let us look at how it is constructed. Okay, so in it that I'm having the four arms over here. The four arms. So first arm you will look that it is over here A to C. This is the first arm. So in it there is a resistance. So let it be P. And in the second arm it is C to B. There is another resistance connected in it. So it is Q. And there is another resistance which is in the arm A to D. It is R. So this resistance is variable. Variable mean to say that we can change its value. So therefore I have put this that arrow over it, and these are fixed resistances over there. Next that we are having it is that fourth resistance in the fourth arm. So it is S. Okay. So thus we are looking over here that there is the arrangement of the four register in the forearm of the bridge. Okay, it is four that register in the four arms of the bridge. So therefore with the help of this we can find one unknown resistance. Okay, so therefore it is said to be as Wheatstone bridge. So what is Wheatstone bridge? It is that arrangement of four register in the form of bridge used for measuring one unknown resistance. Okay, so over here this S is kept as unknown resistance. This is unknown which we have to determine unknown resistance. Now for this that we are going to consider that A and B, these points are connected with that source of EMF. So here it is connected with that one, and between C and D we are going to use the galvanometer. So this galvanometer, it shows the presence of the current in the circuit. So therefore this galvanometer we are going to use, and there is a key used at this position. It is key K. Okay, so this is that key which we have used over here. Okay, now when we close over here this switch, when we close the switch, okay, so what happens? There is the flow of the current in the circuit. Okay, so this current that let it is I current which comes over here up to A. Now at A it is having the two paths, so therefore it is going to divide. So a part of current that it goes through this upper bridge, and a part of the current it passes through this lower. Okay, so here this current splits according to that Kirchhoff's junction law, that at A there are the two paths. So a part of the current it goes through this arm A to D, while a part is going from this upper part. Okay, so now this current it goes to I2. This I2 goes to C point, and at C once again there is the part of the current that which will pass through this galvanometer. Let it is Ig, the current which is passing through the galvanometer. So that's why this current, when it will pass through the galvanometer, so galvanometer will shows the presence. It is having the pointer, so this pointer will change the direction. Here the galvanometer, if there is no current, so it is going to rest like this one. If there is the current, so it is going to change its position. Okay, so thus it shows the presence of the current. So thus that current for which it shows the deflection, I have taken it is Ig. Now I2 current has come to this junction C, out of which Ig has gone from this arm which is connected C and D, while the remaining current, so how much is the remaining? So this will be I2 minus of Ig. This is the remaining current which will pass from C to B. This is the current which I have shown in this upper bridge. Now in the lower bridge, I1 current has come to this D point. Now look up over there, this current which is passing from the galvanometer, so it will also reach at that junction D. Okay, so here the two currents are meeting again. You will find that one, it is galvanometer, the current which is passing through it, and second it is I1. So both of them, according to the junction law, as much current will come, so much current will leave. So therefore the current which is going out now, it is I1 plus Ig. Okay, this is over here. Now this current will reach to this junction B. Now at this junction B, we are also having this second current. It is I2 minus Ig, which is reaching at the junction. Now how much is the current which will leave this junction again? So you will find that I2 minus Ig plus of I1 plus Ig. So that is going to cut. It means I2 minus plus of I1. So this was equal to I. Okay, so that is the total current I. Once again it will come to the negative terminal of that source of voltage. Okay, over here this is the construction. So what we have used in the construction, there are the four resistor, out of which this one is variable while one is unknown, which we have to determine. And that a galvanometer is used between C and D to check the presence of the current. Okay, now student, we are doing over here the changes of this resistor, क्योंकि ये जो रजिस्टर है इसका जो रेजिस्टेंस है उसको क्या किया जा सकता है, चेंज किया जा सकता है. ठीक है, तो ओवर हेयर व्हेन वी आर गोइंग टू चेंज द रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ दिस रजिस्टर, सो वी विल ब्रिंग इट टू सच अ वैल्यू सो दैट द करंट थ्रू दिस गैल्वेनोमीटर विल बिकम जीरो. ठीक है, क्या बोला गया, ये जो वेरिएबल रेजिस्टेंस है उसकी वैल्यू को इस तरह से एडजस्ट करना है कि जो इस सेंटर आर्म से जो करंट है वो क्या हो जाए, जीरो हो जाए. ठीक है, सेंटर आर्म से करंट जीरो. तो जीरो करंट होने का मतलब हुआ, क्योंकि करंट कब फ्लो करता था, जब पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस बनता था. ठीक है, तो इसलिए जब तक सी और डी के बीच में पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस है तब तक क्या होगा, करंट इस सेंटर आर्म से फ्लो करता है. बट ओवर देयर व्हेन बोथ ऑफ देम आर एट सेम पोटेंशियल, सो देयरफॉर देयर इज नो करंट थ्रू सेंटर आर्म. ठीक है, सो दिस इज सेड टू बी द बैलेंस्ड कंडीशन. व्हाट इज दिस, एंड इट इज आल्सो नोन एज प्रिंसिपल ऑफ व्हीटस्टोन ब्रिज. ठीक है, तो व्हाट इज द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ व्हीटस्टोन ब्रिज, सो इट इज balanced condition galvanometer shows no deflection. And how do we get this balanced condition? By adjusting the value of r. ठीक है, so we are getting over there when there is no deflection in the center arm in that galvanometer, so that time the ratios of the resistances in the arms that are equal. So we are getting over here that P upon q equals to R by S. Okay, so check over there what is when we are getting this one, when there is the balance condition. And when there is the balance condition, when current through galvanometer is zero. Okay, so this is the condition over here. That we get over here at a balance condition, the potential of C and D going to become equal. Okay, now let us to have that proof of this, that P by Q equal to R by S. Now let us to apply over here this Kirchhoff's voltage law, so closed loop law, that also known as. So here I am going to consider the two closed loop. So here one closed loop, that it is ACDA, and second closed loop this is going to be, and this C, there it is B, and it is D. So here I have written as, consider two closed loop. One it is ACDA, while the another closed loop is this is closed loop second, so this is going to be CBDC. Okay, so I have chosen my path over here that it is A to C, C to D, D to A, C to B, B to A, B to D, D to C. Okay, now what is said in that Kirchhoff's second law, that algebraic sum of all the EMF is equal to algebraic sum of all the IR products. So look over here in this first loop, ये जो हमारे पास फर्स्ट लूप बन रहा है, दिस वन पार्ट, ठीक है। तो इस फर्स्ट लूप के अंदर यहाँ पर इज देयर एनी सोर्स ऑफ EMF? there is no source of EMF in it. Okay, so therefore we are getting it is 0 is equal to, now when we are going from A to C, so there is this I2 current is going to pass from P. When we are going from C to D, so that time IG current is going to pass through galvanometer, and galvanometer is having the resistance, so it is capital G I have left kept over here. And there we are going from D to A, so when we are going from D to A, so that time I1 current goes against our measurement, so therefore it is minus of I1 R. Okay, this is over here. Now that in second loop, so in second loop check again that from C to D, first how much is the EMF of this closed circuit, that second which we are supposing, there is no EMF supplied in it, so therefore it is 0, which is equal to, when we are going from C to D, C to B, then there is I2 minus IG current which passes from Q, and we are going from thereafter B to D, so that time again this current is in against to us, so I1 plus IG, it passes through this S. Okay, and now from D to C, there it is that IG current passes through galvanometer in our reverse direction. So we already know that if current is in against to us, so take that IR product negative. Okay, so this is over here in this second loop. Now we said that at a balance condition, so we will adjust the value of that variable resistor so that we can get this balance condition. So what is at a balance condition, galvanometer current will be 0. Okay, so how can I write this then? So it will become, then it is I2P plus this will become 0, so therefore only that term minus of I1R will left over here, or either I2P is equal to I1R. This is my first equation. Okay, so make it your first equation. While in this case you will find that when I will put the value of IG 0, then I will have 0 is equal to I2Q minus of this will be over there I1S, and it is 0 over here. ठीक है, ये टर्म 0 थी, ये टर्म 0 थी, so thus therefore it is I2Q is equal to that of I1S. Okay, so this is my second equation. So dividing first by second, so we get that it is P by Q is equal to that of R by S. Okay, so thus we are having this is that at balance condition P by Q equal to R by S. Thus we have given the proof. So this unknown resistance can be determined from here. It is Q by P into R. Okay, so this is the unknown resistance. So let us to learn over here few important point which is regarding to that. So first it is whatever this internal resistance of the cell, or either that resistance of the galvanometer, so this will not affect the balance condition of the that galvanometer. Okay, or therefore we are going to call it as null method as well. Okay, why Wheatstone bridge is said to be null method? Because it is not get affected with the presence of internal resistance of the cell and resistance of galvanometer. Okay, and second thing, that when it can do more accurately the measurement, ठीक है, कब ये सबसे अच्छी measurement कर सकता है, so then we are going to call it as sensitive, highly sensitive. So high sensitivity will be when the four resistors in the forearm of the bridge are almost of same order. At that time it is said to be highly sensitive. Thank you for watching the video.